This is a presentation of the Son of a Preacher podcast by GW. Please listen, subscribe, follow. Please add comments if you want. Hi, everybody. This is GW. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. It's going to probably about 6 or 8 months. So if there's anybody out there that is listening to this, I truly appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button down below, and we'll see what we can do in the future. This is kind of a catch up of what I think the country is doing, how we're doing. So this was a eventful day. This was the day that this morning, sometime during the night, the United States attacked Venezuela, took their leader Maduro and his wife, and are bringing them back to the United States. Now, I don't think anybody would question the fact that Maduro is a bad character. There is no question that he is not a person that needs to be out in open society. You know, he has just done some things that are not good. And he has been tantamount in bringing some very bad drugs and very other things into the United States that need to be taken care of. But, and it's a huge but, you know, the question is why? And why did we, the United States, feel that we had to go in there without congressional approval? Why did we have to go in there and just do an action based upon the will of the president and the Secretary of Defense and whoever his advisors are? Certainly not the first time that the United States has gone into a foreign country and affected a regime change, and certainly probably won't be the last time. But it's one of those things that every time it happens, there's questions about the legalities, there's questions about why we're doing it, we're questions about what the long-term impact of the prestige of being the United States of America has on the rest of the world and whether or not they can trust us. It's going to be interesting to see how all this works out. I think in the short run, having this guy off the streets is a really good thing. I do think that. I think in the long run, though, if we're not extremely strategic in the way that we help, and I use that word very judiciously, but we need to help the Venezuelans at this particular moment in time. If we don't provide positive reinforcement for what their activities down there, we have a real chance of not only having a bad guy go in there, but having one that's worse than Maduro. So you look at this and you look at everything that's gone on. It's about the 1 year mark in the Trump administration right now. And, you know, you can look back at the Biden administration, which he does a lot. I mean, a lot. And I just don't understand why he does. But you have to really question the people that Trump puts into positions of power. It appears that the only thing that they have to do is be loyal. And as long as they are totally loyal, then he's going to have their back. In Biden's administration, and just about every other president other than Trump in the past, the question was not their character. The question was not whether or not they could do the job. It was never a question of their effectiveness. It was, and you didn't doubt the fact that their character was in place, and not necessarily that they wanted everything the president wanted, but they wanted what was right for the United States of America and their people. Instead, we have an administration appoints unqualified people to many jobs. Can name them off, but I think you all know them. Kicked millions of people off Medicaid, eliminated child food support, killed the worldwide healthcare efforts that are going on, countless other dangerous things that they've been doing. And why? Basically because they could. And, his activities that he's done, for instance, his tariffs and the crypto and my gosh, the extortion of universities. I mean, you really can't call it when a university comes to the president and says, "I will pay your administration slash X millions of dollars if you'll just leave me alone." That's extortion. And so he uses this and he just craves power so intensely. And he just does it in a way it's going to continue to damage our economy and the world's. And, there's some bright lights in all this. The federal courts have essentially shut down his constitutional overreach in over 180 cases around the world, around the country. But Congress has essentially been just cut down to nothing because, I hate to say it, but they just don't have the internal fortitude to stand up against him. We are vulnerable economically. We are vulnerable in our national security in a way that we have never been vulnerable before, at least not in my lifetime or my parents' lifetime. The look at healthcare as a whole is just, it's just incredible what is going on. And the fact that diseases that had all but disappeared around the world in 1 year have started to come back, and to the case that there are now being enough cases being done that you can't even say that they have been eliminated anymore. I use measles as a fine example of that here in the United States. Just amazing that they do that. It, this I don't think anyone has ever seen this level of just open corruption by a president. They're pure exercises in power. There's really no guiding principle beyond his own self-interest and vengeance. And I don't know how that differs from the dictatorships that are in place around the world. Now, we have 3 years left. I think that the midterms coming up here in a year, they're gonna be a real tell on whether or not we're gonna have a United States of America for much longer. But we can only hope, I mean, we truly can only hope that the activities that he's done, that he's broken, well, those damages are already done. They economically and to our stature in the world, do you really think if you look out at our place in the world that we are held in as high esteem as we were a year ago, as we were 10 years ago, 15 years ago? We are not. There's just no way. When you travel into a foreign country and you have the citizens of that country look at you as you obviously an American who goes in there, you're a citizen of the United States, and you go in there and they go, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" That, to me, indicates that we are in real trouble. And the sad part is that the people in the United States who are least able to withstand this type of problems, the ones who are least able to cover medical costs on their own, who are least able to cover food costs when they already live in a insufficient food environment. When you have people who's living paycheck to paycheck, but yet jobs are going away because of the policies that are being forced on us. I mean, what does that do? What does that do? It means that the people that feel it most are going to be the ones that are hit the hardest. That is just wrong. I mean, he uses the word hate a lot. And that's a word that's a strong word. One that should not be used in almost any case. No one considers using hate as a leadership trait. What we need are new leaders that are stable, sane, have good character. I don't care which political party they're in. I really don't. I do care that they be honest, that they be principled, intelligent, compassionate for the working man. That's all I ask for. So that's my take on where we're at right now. The next year it's going to be hard, and the election's coming up in about 11 months. Critically important. So I appreciate you listening to me. I hope I hope you take everything I say with this is my opinion, and I really hope that we are able to grow this country in a better way and one that is more inclusive of all the people here in the United States and not just the ones who agree with me. We need to make it that everyone is part of this game. Thanks. I'm GW. Y'all take care. This is a presentation of the Son of a Preacher podcast by GW. Please listen, subscribe, follow. Please add comments if you want.